Once again, you already know what it is, and you already know where you have reached the number one up-and-coming professional wrestling podcast anywhere in the world. This is a Clash of the Podcast special presentation right here on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. It is January 25th, 2024. It's almost February already. I don't know what's going on, but how fast this year is going by. But I'm super excited to be with you guys on this evening as I have three distinguished guests joining me. Two you're familiar with. The third is a new face, but he's certainly not a new face to the podcast game. So I'm actually start off with him, man. I want to give a big shout out and appreciation to the newbie to the show, but certainly not a newbie to the game, the one and only Jesse of the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Welcome to the show, my G.
I was muted there for a second. Thank you for having me, Hubbs. I appreciate you, man. It's an honor. I watch you and Conrad every Monday. Clash of the Podcast. Go and check it out. 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you're there. And Crystal, lovely to meet you. Conrad, we're already introduced. I mean, I talk to you every day, brother. It's good to see you guys.
God bless you, man. Thank you for being here. We appreciate it very much. Underneath me on the screen is a good friend of mine. I've said it many times, 10 years plus. Knew me in my ratchet partying days, and now we're both grown and doing our thing in a much more No, you were always respectable. I was the one that needed help. Thank God for Jesus, right? But anyway, now that we're older and happy and doing our thing, we're certainly happy to have you in this new realm of life. The one and only Crystal, entrepreneur, business owner, wrestling historian. Chris, I'm happy to have you. Thank you for being here.
I am honored to be back. And Jesse, it's a pleasure meeting you as well. I'm excited to get into what we're going to get into today.
And of course, very familiar face to Hubbard Wrestling Weekly because he is my tag team partner each and every Monday night on the EPW channel, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. The one and only Conrad Cushman, representing Everything Pro Wrestling, and the co-founder, of course, of Clash of the Podcast. My brother, as much business as we do together, I do not count it something for granted of you being here. So I certainly appreciate it.
I thank you for that, Sean. There are no friends when it's Royal Rumble season, but today we are going to be locked in talking about this, so I'm looking forward to it, brother.
Amen to that. So listen, we're going to get to the chat. Wow, I'm really excited. A couple people in the chat early. I appreciate you guys. I'm going to get to each and every one in a very short minute. But before we do, we know that sometimes card is subject to change. And before we get into this, I'm going to let everybody know, as you guys can probably hear my tone, this is not going to be pretty, but it's not going to be long either. Not going to get into any details, just going to acknowledge something, right? And make sure that we recognize the fact that we're not going to insult you wonderful people's intelligence and not acknowledge the elephant in the room. So obviously there's been some allegations that have been talked about regarding McMahon and all the things that have gone on. Alleged, nobody was there. Jesse wasn't there. Crystal wasn't there. Conrad wasn't there. I wasn't there. So we can't talk about what, who, when, and why with facts. All we can do is go according to what we read. We read the Wall Street Journal report. We've seen the news reports. We've read the news reports. We've done our homework. We're not going to get into it. We're just going to say, wow. It's tough when real life of this fashion gets clouds the good time that we were trying to have. And we'll still have a good time tonight, but we'll see how it all plays out, guys. I know you guys have heard the reports, read the reports. It's a wild situation. We're not casting dispersions or judgment on anyone. If it's true, it's his cross to bear. If not, then we just have to move forward and just see what happens. But I already know from the pre-production that Jesse, nor Crystal, nor Conrad really want to talk about it at all, and I really didn't want to talk about it either. Just giving that little nugget to let you guys know that we are not going to insult your intelligence by going straight into the Royal Rumble stuff without acknowledging the elephant in the room. We're just saying, at the end of the day, it's alleged actions that have taken place. Reports have come out in the Wall Street Journal report, and we'll just see how it plays out. That fair enough, guys?
Absolutely.
All right, so let's get into business. So, unbelievable that we're already talking about the Royal Rumble. It is Royal Rumble season. It is WrestleMania season, and I am fired up about it. We're going to get into some real tough subjects. Jesse, I didn't mean to single you out. Yes, I did. Because there are some subjects that we are really going to go to war about. But we're going to get to that a little bit later. I'm going to start off with Crystal and the historical significance of the Royal Rumble. This is one of the oldest pay-per-views in the history of the business. And it's the brainchild of the late, great Pat Patterson. And it started in 1988. And the original winner of that show, of that Royal Rumble, was Hacksaw Jim Duggan. Crystal, I know you did your homework in preparation for the show. We're talking about 30 plus years later. Just give me a comparison about that show and how we've evolved to where we are now, in your opinion.
In my opinion, I feel like the Royal Rumble has something that's still authentic about it, which I absolutely love. Again, the only thing that was different, like you and I were discussing, was the signing of the contract and all this other stuff. That's cool. But the basis of Royal Rumble that I feel like Pat Patterson created is something that WWE has withheld, and it's upstanding to me to this point. Like every year, I feel like they're not like how I feel about the Survivor Series. It used to be my jam, not now, because it's War Games, right? The Royal Rumble is something that we can expect 36 years later. Am I right? 30 something years later. So it's still one of my favorites. I love it.
Awesome. Jesse, talk to us about Royal Rumble 88, or not even necessarily Royal Rumble 88, but just your history, your leaning back and looking back on the history of this major event. Obviously, the second most important event in WWE history, I would assume.
It's close for me, man. This is probably up there with WrestleMania for me, just because this is my birthday. This is my birthday pay-per-view. Not today, but this is like my birthday's January 9th. But growing up, I remember. Thank you. Growing up, I remember my mom always asking me, you know what I mean, what do you want for your birthday? The answer was the same every single year. I want the Royal Rumble pay-per-view. Royal Rumble. So been watching the Royal Rumble for many, many years. I've never missed a single Royal Rumble, and I want to say about 35 years. I've been watching this thing called professional wrestling since I was about 2. So, yeah, man, this is an important pay-per-view. I think that I get more excited for the Royal Rumble than I do for WrestleMania, but it's close. It's close because it's Mania, but Royal Rumble is up there for me, man. Whether bad or good, I'm expecting this one to be a good one. So we'll have to just wait and see this Saturday.
Hey, man, your mouth to God's ears, brother. I hope it's a good show. It's looking like it probably will be. Yeah. Conrad, I'm gonna ask your opinion, but I'm gonna lead into it with some specifics. The 1988 Royal Rumble specifically, the main event obviously was the Royal Rumble match, but it was in its embryonic stages, right? So Duggan winning the main event, looking back on it 30 plus years later, I think Crystal accurately pointed out it was 36 years ago. It's like, okay, was that the main event? Probably not. The main event was like a contract signing. Do you remember that?
I don't remember I remember there was a tag match with the Islanders versus who am I thinking of? Was it the Young Stallions?
Right, but before you go there, we all know that the last match doesn't necessarily mean it's the main event.
Oh, don't start that. Don't sell me that mess now. The last match is the main event. That's it. Period.
All right.
But yeah, the Royal Rumble was a big deal, and I thought it was like an interesting test concept. I heard that they had even did it on like house shows before then too, to try to see like, okay, how can we make this work? Right. And it was advertised as "Tell them your stupid idea, Pat," and then I love it. Let's try it. Let's see what happens with it. I'm a big proponent in believing One Man Gang should have won. I'm a big fan of One Man Gang, so I thought he should have got the W there, but Duggan pulled it out. Good finish, though. Like old school finish. Like he's drowsy. He drops the ropes. Big man fell over. Oh, he got a hey. So it was what it was. WrestleMania Royal Rumble was the perfect 1-2 punch to wrap up what everyone said. There's years where I'm like, if the Rumble's going to tell you a story, and it's so great when the Rumble and WrestleMania like go right into each other and tell great stories, like 2001. Like we'll get into all the history of the stuff, but like that's a perfect example of it works so well. It told a great story.
Absolutely, absolutely. Ray Thompson was in the chat early, like 2 days ago. I want to thank you, Ray, and your beautiful family for being here with us tonight. Ray Thompson says, I do have to say this Royal Rumble seems very unpredictable. I can see Punk, Cody, Rock, or even Gunther winning. Reminds me of the 17 Rumble. I guess the 17 Rumble, meaning like going into WrestleMania 17, I'm assuming, where it was Jericho, Goldberg, Lesnar, and Taker were all favored. I feel you. I feel you. And Ray says they swerved us on Orton. Touche. Gomar in the building. Appreciate you. Terrell, appreciate you. 317 in the building says Hub Wrestling Weekly, my very first time attending Hubbard stream. Hubbard, it's your call. WrestleMania in Philly. Are you picking Rock versus? Oh, here we go. Rock versus Roman, Rock versus Cody, Rock versus Punk, or Roman versus Gunther. Let's take a pause on that. I guess we're getting into this early. We still have a format, people, but we'll deviate just a little bit to answer that really dope question. So we can talk about this early. I'm picking, now that he's back, now that Dwayne is back, I'm picking, yes, Crystal, fix your face. We have a lot to talk about.
I won't.
Face. Dwayne, now that Dwayne is back, I'm saying it's going to be Rock versus Roman. I know that is something Crystal predicted a long time ago. I'm going to give her
And you said.
I said Rock would never come back. I made 2 major predictions, Crystal, and you are somebody that's very loyal and watches our show on Mondays. I made 2 predictions. The prediction I made, number 1, was that Rock would never come back. Clearly, I was mistaken about that. And I take that back. My prediction was that Dwayne would never wrestle again. That technically still has not come true yet. So technically, I'm still alive in that regard. But it looks like it's going to happen. The other prediction, which is going to infuriate, by the way, Crystal, meet Jesse again, because you're about to see another side of him. I also said that Cody would not finish the story. So to answer Terrell's question, my prediction, now that it's looking like it's coming into focus, is going to be Rock versus Roman. Jesse, it's not that I'm happy about it. I'm just telling you what I think, my brother.
You want me to talk now?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please.
So, I think that things have now changed. If you didn't know, WWE just signed a major deal with Netflix. The Rock wants to be seen in front of 247 million homes.
Mm-hmm.
This is, I've always felt this from day one, right? It has not changed. Conrad, you know me. Has not changed. They are not going to deviate away from a plan. The Rock is not even announced for anything. He's teasing. And also, when he just did this press conference the other day, he said, well, we want to have a major build to me versus Roman.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a major build. We're talking The Rock versus Cena 1 year in advance.
I don't want you to stop your thought. I want to interject in your thought. Okay. Crystal, why are you nodding your head? You've been saying Rock and Roman since
I was thinking about it the other day, because when did he come on? Early January, right?
January 1st.
First month, yeah, right. Day 1. So I was thinking about it, and I said to myself, there's no build for this.
All right, let's put up. Hold on. All right, I just wanted to interject you right there. Jesse, continue.
So, yeah, The Rock went on to say that he wanted that major build. Mm-hmm. I don't think that WWE ever wanted to deviate away from Cody versus Roman, knowing that this dude is that future of the company. He is. He's the future. Mm-hmm. And he deserves everything. Yeah, I know you don't think he deserves it, but I'm going to prove to you, because as you know, I'm a numbers guy. I run a podcast. I run a growing YouTube channel. I'm an analytics guy. You know what I mean? I know what works, know what doesn't work, and I got a lot of numbers right here in this phone of mine to prove.
I love it.
To prove that Cody's numbers are reflecting exactly what WWE is looking for. And it goes back to even Tony Khan, back when a lot of fans were complaining he wasn't running women's wrestling, correct? Mm-hmm. You're not running enough women's wrestling. Well, Tony Khan's looking at the numbers and saying, well, it's weird, because when I watch my numbers dip at the time that women's wrestling is on, mm-hmm. what does that make me want to put more of that on when it's tuning people out?
Right, touche.
Well, Cody's doing the opposite for WWE because every single time this man is on TV, his numbers reflect going up. Even in NXT draws around 455,000 per episode. I want to say,
Right.
in a full. Yeah. So when Cody's announced, though, he's drawing almost 1 million just off of an announcement that Cody's gonna, make on NXT, which is a little ridiculous, right? But Cody, when he first made his debut to WWE, first debut WrestleMania. Over 3 million views within 15 hours on YouTube. Over 3 million. Guess whose segments that beat at WrestleMania? Who was at WrestleMania last year? Not last year, but the year before, sorry.
I'm guessing you're probably talking about Austin.
Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Mm-hmm.
Their videos on YouTube did not reflect what Cody's did going in. And that was the initial selling point for WWE to say this guy is onto something. Cody Rhodes is that guy.
Let's leave it there for now because it's a little bit of a teaser. Conrad, give us a nugget. We're going to come back to this in much more detail. Crystal, I know you're ready to go. We're going to come back to it. Conrad, give us a nugget about your feeling about Terrell's question.
Jesse took the words from my mouth. Me and Jesse have talked about this, and I have told Jesse the same thing about The Rock. Once he started talking about the build, and they announced that deal with Netflix, by the way, Netflix will be on Raw, $500 million. Remember this, what I'm saying real quick. Little nugget for you. When Netflix is $30, you remember who just told you why you're paying that per month.
That's why I'm mad, Conrad. You're 100% right.
Just remember that. By the time that deal's done, remember when it's $30 to watch it, you'll be like, man, didn't Conrad say that back in like 2024, like 6 years ago?
Hey, hang on a second, though. Let me get my credit card out and run that thing. Because if you haven't been on Netflix in the last couple of months or even a year, dude, Netflix is killing it. They're really they're buying so many movies off of HBO Max. They're getting them from Peacock. They're getting them from all these streaming services. They own the rights to almost everything. And now they just bought WWE.
Watch your debt. Watch your debt. That's all I'm gonna say.
Hey, bro, I will cancel HBO, Peacock, all that stuff. Put it all on Netflix, man. Run my card. You know what I'm saying?
So, to get back to the point real quick, what Jesse said, I think is true. I think The Rock wants this match to be bigger. So how can it be bigger, Sean? When they first launch on Netflix, maybe they're going to do a special. A special from where? Pick a stadium. It doesn't matter. Right now they're hot and they're feeling it. So they're like, we're going to ride this momentum. We're going to ride it off the backs of The Rock's intrigue. My wife is a casual fan. She jumped in. She was like, The Rock's coming back. That night when I called you, The Rock's coming back? And I was like, how do you know this? He was like, it's on Facebook. Everybody's talking about it. The Rock is still very popular. People, if they hear he's back, I'm watching. If they hear Austin's back, they're watching. But Cody and Punk have the new generation of fans. They're going to try and merge all that into one big super card. Rock's going to be on top with Roman. That's fine. That's fine. And Rock wants to build to it. He wants to, if he's going out with a bang, and he'll probably never wrestle again. That's what I'm telling people. So whatever this build is, whatever the story is, this is the last thing you're going to get with Rock as an active competitor. It sounds like he also is trying to get into different realms of Hollywood. I could believe The Rock's going to hold off on this. Now he's a board of directors for wrestling. He's got the UFL. He's dipping his toes into a lot of stuff. So there's a lot of money coming into him. So I think it's just something to keep an eye out for.
All right. Well, we'll see. Like I said, let's leave
like a Saturday night main event for Netflix is what you're saying, like back in the day?
I think they might even do like the very first show in Netflix 2025. The Rock's going to meet you. He'll announce when it's going to be. It might even be WrestleMania 41 in Las Vegas. It might be WrestleMania 41.
So. Because, not to cut you, because 40 is such a big number, I don't think that it'll be 41. Like, I don't think they're going to hold off of 41. The beginning of 25 makes a lot of sense because remember, a lot of people like that day one show on Peacock that they got rid of. So I feel like maybe they'll replace it and put something on Netflix instead of Peacock.
You could do that too, but here's why I'm thinking it could be at Mania. People will always want to buy WrestleMania. People will try to get their hands on it. And who's to say that Peacock's going to be able to keep the rights in, I think, what's their deal up? 25, 26? 26. They might not even have the rights to it. Who's going to want to pay $9 million for it when you could have a international Netflix special? And The Rock, would you rather be seen by 9 million people or 247 million people could possibly see this? Just jumping on Netflix, and that's the live broadcast being shown. I'm just putting it out there.
Let's put a pin in that. Let's put a pin in that because we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. M. Leezy for Sheezy's in the building. We appreciate him being here. He says, "Hello, good evening. Hope everyone is doing good. We appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here." Gomar asking, "How's it going?" We're doing good, man. How are you doing? XGW in the building. We appreciate you, my guy. Speaking of guy Will Gamble's in the building. Appreciate you. Talking about what up, everyone? Appreciate you, Terrell. He's already stirred up a hornet's nest. He says, "Oh snap! Pro wrestling shoot salute. Good evening, Crystal." Shout out to Crystal as well.
Good evening.
Devin Santiago's in the building. Appreciate you for being here, very much so. God will gamble every podcast for itself. No, we're not going against each other except for one subject. You know what I'm saying? That's all good.
It's all love over here, man.
All love. My first time here. I subscribe to your channel, Devin. We appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. Quilly's in the building. Appreciate you, my guy. Your boy Sir Quills is here to enjoy Hubbard Wrestling Weekly's Royal Rumble preview and predictions. What's good, Sean and Conrad? Hey, Crystal, and what's good, Jesse from PWS? How y'all doing? We're doing good, man. You know, got love going back in that direction. Devin, once again, you're welcome, Jesse. So hyped for Rumble Saturday. Got my gift card ready for Saturday night. Gonna wear the LWO shirt and Brock shirt for Saturday. Oh Lord, okay.
Check the news first, Devin, before you wear one of them shirts.
That's why I said, "Oh Lord," but we're gonna leave that alone. Conrad showing love. Terrell Hubbard Wrestling Weekly. I made it earlier than post. I meant Roman versus Punk, not Rock versus Punk. Okay, but both as categories, no doubt. Oh, SGW wishing a happy birthday to Jesse. Sir Pros wishing happy birthday. Gomar wishing happy birthday. Let's get into this thing. So look, as we continue down the road of historical significance of the Royal Rumble, the cool part about everything that we remember from that pay-per-view is historically significant moments, right? So when you think about historically significant moments, you have to think about the first guy to ever win from number one, right? So Crystal, I'm gonna throw it to you. 1995, the guy who I consider to be the greatest in-ring performer. That's right, Conrad. We don't disagree on everything. We definitely agree on this.
That's right.
The greatest in-ring performer, Crystal, to ever put on a pair of boots, in my opinion. Crystal, please don't argue with me about this, but I'm going to let you have the floor. 1995, give me your thoughts on Shawn Michaels being the first man to ever win from Royal Rumble position number one, and then following up the next year to be the first man to go, second man. Well, I like to not acknowledge the first one, but the second man to go back-to-back. But the first man to win from number one. Talk about it.
I completely agree with you. I feel like he was totally deserving of it. I mean, the whole plot in itself is amazing to me. I feel like I told you, I don't agree that Shawn was a moneymaker as a champion, but as an in-ring performer, he was one of the best. He was one of the best, and that's why he trains all the people at NXT, right? So I agree with you on this. I'm not arguing with you today. I'm with you.
You will later, I promise.
Oh, yeah. I was going to argue a couple points before, but, you told me to put a pin in it.
Jess, talk to me about HBK being the first guy to go coast to coast.
Look, HBK is probably my all-time. If I had to pick an all-time favorite, the Heartbreak Kid. I was always a Shawn Michaels guy. My brother, who is no longer with us, was a Bret Hart guy. And I love Bret Hart too, so I'm not like, one or the other. But HBK winning it, man, that was a big deal, right? Big deal.
Yes.
So, yeah, that brings back some really, really good memories. And that led into the boyhood dream, right? So
Yeah. It's crazy.
the most overrated match in professional wrestling history.
One of.
Yep.
Yo.
I know. I just lit up Conrad by saying that. Look, Iron Man matches, I stand by it. They are the most pointless match.
They're horrible.
I will, you know what? I'm going to go get something to drink. I'm going to go get some food, go grab some wings. I'll be back in an hour when the finish is ready. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the match ends in an hour. We know it's so it just takes the fun out of it for me. I don't know.
And thank God they switched it up a little bit. Conrad, I'm coming to you. Thank God they switched it up a little bit for Rock versus Triple H, because they had to throw some falls in there because they realized that them going 60 minutes without a fall was not a good idea. Lord have mercy. I mean, all right, Conrad, I see your face. I wasn't trying to get you
He's
mad. bro. Let's talk about it. Talk about HBK going number one, and if you'd like to talk about the significance of Iron Man matches, you can go ahead.
I will not say anything about it. I think that Iron Man match has not aged well, but I'm not going to say it's like the most overrated match of all time. I still think that match told a heck of a story when I was watching. As a kid, I used to be able to name the spots that they were doing, like the dive to the outside, the moonsault. He's going to hit that. I know the spots to that match, but that's probably because I'm a Shawn fan. My brother was a big Bret Hart fan. I think I caught a Bret Hart action figure to the face after Monsoon made him go back in there. So, the Shawn Michaels winning, I watched that on a blurry TV. If you know the lines from back in the day when you ordered pay-per-views, no, you don't know about that?
No, I'm pointing to the comment. Keep talking, Conrad. I'm just pointing to
okay. Yeah, I know nothing about that, but the aspect of Shawn winning, I remember being so confused as a kid, like listening to it like it was radio. Like I remember hearing British Bulldog's music and I was like, what? Shawn Michaels lost? I was like, I guess it's Diesel and Bulldog. Okay, cool. And then what is Shawn Michaels doing? I was like, wait, what? And it was one of the greatest moments of all time. After that, I don't know who else you could have had picking to win, but that was when I was a kid, though, and it was like the element of surprise in pro wrestling. Maybe Owen, maybe Bulldog, maybe Jacob or Eli Blue. But Shawn Michaels did his thing that night, and I thought he was one of the best performers that they've ever had laced a pair of boots in that company. He is probably my 1A, and my 1B is actually in this Rumble that we're going to talk about this year. So
that's what's up. That's what's up. So HBK becomes the first man to go coast to coast. So many other historical situations have taken place at the Royal Rumble that have set the stage for Hall of Fame careers. Austin took his momentum that he got in the 1996 King of the Ring to go and win 3 Royal Rumbles, the first of which was controversial, the first man to win without really winning. We all know Rock, his feet hit the ground first in 2000, but it doesn't matter. And look, Bret Hart did not win the 1997 Royal Rumble, and the Big Show did not win the 2000 Royal Rumble. I don't know what people are talking about. All I know is when I look through the history of time, I see that Stone Cold won in 97 and Rock won in 2000. Are there any objections?
Quick question. When they showed Rock in 2000, did they show it from the angle they show it on the network now?
I don't know, but I know that his feet obviously hit the ground. It was really bad.
So now they show it from the reverse side where you don't see his feet hit. And then I remember them showing it like on Raw, and I was like, I don't remember seeing that. But I didn't watch it live either as a kid. I couldn't order all the pay-per-views back then. So do you guys remember watching? Did anybody watch it live and they were like, nah, Rock's feet definitely hit first. We saw it, and then that was it.
Well, they showed it from the reverse angle. Chris and Jess, what are your recollections?
I'm like the worst person to ask about that because I can't remember matches that far back, man. Like I can tell you a couple of matches that really stick with me. I'm not as good of a historian as most. I remember what had happened, but I couldn't tell you move for move, like what took place that night. I can't remember.
It's all good. Look, and I can tell Crystal, you're not really remembering off the top of your head either. Mm-mm. It's all good. The bottom line is The Rock won.
No, Sean, we're going to tell the truth. That's because they done blurred the history line so that we don't remember. They did it so you don't remember that. That's not what happened.
Justice for Paul White.
The Mandela effect.
If Paul White had won the Royal Rumble in 2000 the way he should have, they would have casted Paul White as the Mummy. They would have had him be in The Mummy Returns.
Oh, no.
Scorpion King. He would have been the lead star in Baywatch. He'd be the on the board of directors for TKO, and he'd be facing Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. That's, just justice for Paul White. But anyway, let's move on.
Paul White got the better character, man. He was Captain Insano. Come on.
Facts.
Dude shows no mercy.
Classic movie. Kevin Abreu in the building. We appreciate you. He says, The Rock joined TKO and his daughter becomes the manager for NXT. That is, by the way, do you guys like that? I like that. I like Ava Raine as the general manager. That was cool. Like, she's doing a good job on camera.
I'm going to be honest. I go live during NXT, so I don't watch that show.
But I mean, the whole nepotism, a lot of nepotism, obviously, right? But I think she's earning it. I think she's showing herself to be pretty good on camera. It sounds wild. Cody wins the Rumble. Rock defeats Roman at Elimination Chamber. We get Cody versus Rock at WrestleMania in Philly. I don't know.
No, I don't think that. Honestly, I don't think Rock is gonna go for the title. This is about. I feel like this is about the head of the table. I think they're two different lanes, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, he's never once teased. Both times that he came back, he's never once teased wanting that title.
The only time that you've seen anything about that title is in his show when you see the title in the background of the shot, and that's when Roman he depicts Roman as a little kid, and he mentions him, and you see it there. But other than that, I honestly don't think it's about a title. I think that was set up for 39, and then they canceled that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, Paul White is the mummy might have been lit. I love God will get he's hilarious. Sinbad wasn't a genius though. Big Show ain't getting no Baywatch. Listen, you never know. He could have been a really good. I
agree.
Don't hate. He could have been a good lifeguard. Big men can swim. I'm a witness. God will get him in a parallel universe. Haha. And better than what she was doing with this schism. That's facts. She's doing better with the GM role than with schism. So let's get deeper into this thing. I'm gonna kind of roll past a couple of things because I want to get into the meat and potatoes of tonight's show, which is the 2024 Royal Rumble. There's obviously some major situations that have happened in the Royal Rumble in the past. If we want to talk briefly about how Batista got booed out of the building when Daniel Bryan was supposed to win, or when Roman got booed out of the building when Daniel Bryan was supposed to win. Crystal, it looks like you have some thoughts on that.
No, I mean, listen, we knew until 2020, nobody was feeling Roman, right? Like he was somebody that WWE shoved down our throats, right?
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, he was shoved down our throats for years, right? So I'm a Roman girl, right? So but I'm not gonna lie about it. So he wasn't deserving of that. I think that's something that they pushed. Everybody knew who the fans wanted to win, and it wasn't him. It wasn't until he turned heel that we started loving him. I don't know about you, Deshaun. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
No, you're hitting the nail on the head. I just think that looking back in retrospect, it's like, were we right or were we wrong? Because clearly, it's what I hate to admit, and this is something that Jesse was talking about off the air, and I gotta give him credit. Like the powers that be, they're smart sometimes. It's like maybe they see something we don't see. Like,
but they give it to you too soon.
I mean, that's true.
You and I have discussed this. We've had this discussion before. Yeah. Sometimes what they did back then was carry a storyline for much longer. You can't shove something down a fan's throat before they're ready for it. Now everything is rushed. A storyline is, you know how we were talking about the end of the bloodline, and I'm like, no, keep it going. We haven't had something to go for this long. So I feel like it wasn't Roman's time yet. It just wasn't. And they didn't have suffering succotash. They didn't have the right. They knew he was the guy, but they didn't have the character of him built up yet. So 2020 was his time to do what he needed to do.
Conrad, it looks like you have an altering opinion.
I remember. So I'm the guy, I'll be the first one to tell fans, oh, I remember how you felt that night. In 2014, Sean, do you remember who they were cheering for to win once they realized Danielson wasn't coming out?
Well, they were cheering.
Roman Reigns. They wanted Roman to win.
They didn't want Batista to win, right?
Right. So then the next year when Roman does win, boo! I was like, what do you guys want?
I gotta back up Crystal on this one. Your point is valid, but it's not accurate to this particular conversation.
About tune changing.
No, but you're talking about them being fickle. That's not what it. The reason they were cheering Roman Reigns in 2014 was strictly because they did not want Batista to win. It wasn't because they liked Roman Reigns.
Facts.
Oh, I beg to differ back then. I think Conrad, the shit was hot.
You remember? You know what I remember? I remember both John Cena and Roman Reigns standing in the middle of the ring with the entire WWE crowd chanting, "You both suck. You both suck." Because both of these guys were the ones that were shoved down everybody's throats for many years.
You're talking about when they feuded, though, right? That little in-ring interaction between them?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't care about that. I'm talking about 2014. Go back to the Shield for a second. Go back to the Shield. I don't care about Roman Reigns as a solo. Roman Reigns, the Shield was cool. I was there for the Shield. People liked the Shield. I promise you, bro.
I liked Ambrose and Rollins.
When they heard that Sierra Hotel, I saw so many of those daggone shirts when I went to WrestleMania.
Down. Yeah, we get it. They liked them, but also too, the way he was pushed, it
was
wasn't
the
right
agenda that came after this, where Rollins and Ambrose used to be the main talker, and then it flipped, and then Roman was always in the middle, and that's when you knew he's got. I see lust in your eyes, brother, and they were like, "No, we're putting Roman up front. You two get in the back." They use those other two guys. I tell people the truth every week. They use them.
I want to set the record straight, though, bro. I think Crystal and Jesse are on the money with this one. In the 2014 Royal Rumble, everybody wanted to see Daniel Bryan win that Royal Rumble.
He wasn't in it.
Okay, hold on, but hear me out. Everybody wanted Daniel Bryan to win that Royal Rumble. When they realized that Batista was the one, when we realized as fans that Batista was the one that was going to win the Royal Rumble, you could see the writing on the wall. They were cheering for Roman Reigns out of detest for the Batista getting ready to win.
Sean, they booed Rey Mysterio. That man has never done a heelish thing in his life besides get beat up. That I'm like, fight back.
That's the point. Oh, I love this. This is what I was hoping for. That's the point. Jesse, I'm going to throw it to you. Is that not the point? The point is, when the fans were upset about Daniel Bryan not winning, it didn't matter.
No, yeah, nothing else mattered because
nothing else mattered.
Yeah, Danielson wasn't in, so everybody was just, this Rumble sucks.
Kick Rey Mysterio like the poor dog. Like, beat it.
If I were Rey Mysterio that year, I would have begged, pleaded, or sat out the Royal Rumble. When they told me I was going to be number 30, everybody knew if it wasn't Daniel Bryan, they were going to get booed out of the building. It didn't matter who it was. It was going to be Daniel Bryan deserved to win the 2014 Royal Rumble. He wasn't even in the match. He deserved to win 2015. He got eliminated. It was ridiculous booking. Ridiculous.
15's way worse than 14 to me too. Like, way worse.
I mean,
I think the point is the thing about Roman Reigns is this guy was just came at bad timing, man. We had just gotten over the Cena era, right? Cena was just he was there everywhere we looked. Cena. And we were tired of it. And we knew coming from the Shield that Roman Reigns was going to be that guy, the next guy that was pushed down everybody's throat. So even coming out of the Shield, this man was booed by a lot of people. Roman Reigns was not it for me, man. And don't get me wrong, I'm so happy he finally went heel, did the head of the table, tribal chief thing, because that is what worked for him. Great. But the big dog, get up out of here, man. I didn't want nothing to do with it.
It was hard to watch. Every time he came
I didn't watch.
I mean,
I stopped watching WWE for a couple of years because
didn't they have to pull The Rock in one day? Like I feel like it was like WrestleMania. They had to pull
it
him
was
in.
it was Royal Rumble, but
it was Royal Rumble, right? He had to get in the middle of the ring with him because people were bashing him. You imagine having your hand up, standing on the rope, and everybody's like, "Wow!" Like it was nasty for him.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, pal. Since they're booing you out of the building, we're gonna call in your big cousin Rock to come in
here. If I'm getting booed, Sean, you need to come in the ring with me too.
And get you some cheap cheers because nobody freaking likes you. But at the end of the day, they booed The Rock too. That's how bad Roman Reigns was terrible. 2015, 19, he was terrible.
I don't think he was terrible.
I
think he was pushed. Those blue contacts, I think that's what it is. We don't like people that, perfect example, LA Knight. They were not, the WWE was not backing. It was the fans who kept pushing for LA Knight. You see what I'm saying to you? Like,
but rightfully so.
What they were putting down.
But rightfully so.
Oh yeah, rightfully so. But again, they weren't pushed by WWE. Yes, Conrad.
No, I want Sean to give me the hot take. Sean, what do I always tell you? There's two people in the company. There's two people in the company, bro. Who are the two people? The corporate guy and the people guy. That's all it comes down to. Every single Roman Reigns is not the people guy.
But you're arguing that Roman was over with the fans in 14?
Yes, I think the Shield was still over back then.
The Shield was not Roman Reigns.
The Shield was. I can agree with that.
The Shield was.
Not.
You said
but I think that rubbed off onto Roman, which they thought was going to work, and it didn't once they split them.
Roman was the weak link of the entire time.
I'm not disagreeing with you.
Seth and Dean Ambrose were better than Roman Reigns when they were in the Shield. 100%. 100%. The Shield was led by Seth. He was the architect. Dean Ambrose, John Moxley was out of his mind, and Roman Reigns was the big clunky guy that speared everybody.
Facts.
It was by design.
Yes, come on, help me out, bro.
No. When I first seen the Shield, I watched ROH. I knew who Seth Rollins was. I knew who Tyler Black was. So when he came in, I was like, yes, Tyler Black. This whole new look for him. I'm excited for him. Dean Ambrose, I didn't watch in, what was it, CZW? I didn't watch a lot of that at the time, so I didn't know who he was. But he stuck out like a sore thumb, man. Like, that dude just had something. And Roman was just another one of those Batista guys in my eyes. Like, it's just another big guy coming in. Like, Wardlow today. Wardlow is the same thing for me. I like when AEW puts him over, because it's gonna happen. When AEW puts him over and he's the champion, I'm good. Like, I don't need to watch that because I've seen it my entire life. It started with Hulkamania, brother. You know what I mean? Then it went to the Ultimate Warrior and then passed down. So it's just the same song and dance. I wanted something different, and I think the fans did too. So,
we know the fans did. They wanted.
Yeah.
The corporate side only pushes the people's person when they have to. Bret Hart was not the choice. They had to give it to Bret Hart because they had no other choice. Stone Cold got in that spot. The Rock would have had that spot if it wasn't for Stone Cold and the company being bad, and he turned it around from WCW. And once it was hot, they were like, we got to keep going with Austin.
You know what this?
They had to do it.
You know what this look means? I think you're turning into the corporate champ, Conrad.
I'm just letting you know.
I think you're turning into 1998 Rock.
It's fine with me. Pay me.
I love it. I love it. Yo, let's get into some more of these comments, man.
Not here to make friends. I'm here to make money.
That's right. Big shout out once again to Doug for that cool comment about Ava Rain. I agree. Kevin Abreu, interesting concept about how we can work that WrestleMania main event. He says, what about Rock being a referee for that match?
Nope.
No, absolutely not.
Takes away from the moment.
Okay.
I'm going to tell you this right here and now. The only person that can pin Roman Reigns clean is Cody freaking Rhodes. Whether anybody look, it's okay to not like Cody Rhodes. It's okay. But you're wrong.
I do not dislike Cody Rhodes.
Yeah, I'm just going to say, it's okay to dislike him. It's okay to not like him. But you're wrong. Because Cody Rhodes is that guy, man. He's the only person that can pin him clean. Who else are you going to pick, Sean? Just answer me that. Who else in the company? Because The Rock ain't coming to win a title.
Look, me and you have known each other for about a year now. I've been consistent. I said that Rock would never wrestle again. I was wrong. And I said Cody would, Crystal, leave me alone. And I said that Cody would not finish the story. I don't dislike Cody Rhodes. I don't think Cody's going to finish the story because I think WWE doesn't care about anybody but themselves. I think when Rock knocks on your door, they're going to say, Cody, sorry, brother, sorry, pal. I think to this day, I talked about this with Crystal. I talked about it with Conrad. Why am I pointing at the screen when you guys can't tell where I'm pointing?
You argue with me about it. You don't talk.
Hear me out. We're about to agree on this. This is for you, Jess. I told them, and I'm sure you'll agree, they told Cody he was not winning the title at 39 at the pre-show in the bus. I think they pulled the rug out from him then. So my whole logic about Cody not finishing the story has nothing to do with Cody Rhodes. And maybe this is the perfect platform for me to explain this to you face to face, my brother. I don't trust WWE, and I don't know why you do.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I don't. And I don't think Cody Rhodes does either. Because I guarantee Cody Rhodes, before he signed to WWE, he's got it in his contract that he will be the WWE champion. That story is getting finished. Okay. That boy is not dumb, man. Cody Rhodes left as an EVP from AEW to come into WWE. Do you think that he didn't have some contingencies in place? You'd be dead wrong, brother.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
You know something? If I were Cody, if Cody had it in mind where he was cool with this thing being dragged out another year, I wouldn't have been cool with that because you know what? Anything can happen. You can get hurt, which he was before before last year's Royal Rumble. Anything, plans can change. Listen, who's to say the powers that be are not going to walk into his locker room and say, listen, man, I know we got everything. Look, we pushed it back from 39 to 40, but listen, man, Dwayne says he wants to win it this year. I mean, we got to it can't be for the title.
They won't let him win.
No, of course not. But I'm saying it won't be for the title, but Rock and Roman, like we can't overlook the money match. So maybe you want to face CM Punk for the world title instead? Maybe you want to. I'm just saying. Why do we have so much? Hold on, Crystal, I'm gonna throw it to you after this. Crystal, I'm gonna throw it to you right after this. And Conrad, I'm coming to you next. Why do we have so much faith in the integrity of World Wrestling Entertainment?
We don't. Throw me the ball. We do not have any integrity with them. But like Jesse said, I know that is in his contract. That man is not an idiot. He left there, built himself up, started a whole new organization that they thought was going to fail to come back here to be a worker. Please trust and believe what he did learn from Tony was how to deal with money and how to deal with contracts.
Everything you just said, does that mean you disagree with me when they pulled the rug out from him at 39?
That's an assumption. We don't know that.
I don't believe that they did. I don't believe that.
Woo! Jesse,
I don't.
Crystal.
Listen, man. Listen. Cody is riding them checks, man.
Okay.
Look, let me show you. Let me tell you some facts. What they have done for Cody Rhodes since Cody Rhodes has come to the WWE. Tell me this: how many times has Cody Rhodes been pinned clean the whole 2 years that he's been in WWE?
Question: not many, if at all.
One.
Roman Reigns. Okay.
One. Was it two? What did Brock beat him?
Brock.
Okay.
But
two.
He won 2 out of 3. So right.
Two.
Right.
Two. They put this boy on the freaking cover of 2K24. He was and look, it's not that digital edition that they handed the ladies. It's not the digital edition that they handed everybody else on the roster. No, it's the one that gets sold in the hard copy in the stores. That's the only hard copy sold. Cody Rhodes on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
They have faith in Cody Rhodes. His numbers, like I said, you can't deny them. He's the highest merchandise seller in 2023. He's still up there with CM Punk right now as we speak. CM Punk's may go down a little bit. His segments on Monday Night Raw peak more than anybody else's besides CM Punk. CM Punk is up there right now. CM Punk is the man, dude. So I'm not going to take it away from Punk. But since, CM Punk just came back, though, ever since then, it's Cody. Cody. Why do you think we're going head-to-head tonight with AEW for NXT? Cody, you got an announcement for us?
Right.
Come on over, man.
Right.
Come on over.
I just think WWE goes with the prettiest girl in the room. And if I were Cody Rhodes, I wouldn't trust a darn thing that WWE has to say. Conrad,
you don't trust anybody. You got to listen to a contract. And let me tell you something. I think the only thing they did not give Cody is that stupid stage that lifts him up. That's the only thing that they didn't give him. Remember, they had it. He had it when he first got back. They were doing it. Guess they were like, it's too much money. That's the only thing I feel like Cody did not get in this whole thing.
He got it at both Manias, though.
But remember, he used to come up from even, I think at one Raw he did it, but it just didn't work.
Yeah.
Look, I'm going to throw it to Conrad for a quick wrap-up, and then we're going to get back to this a little bit later. But I'm just going to say you guys have a lot of faith that 39 wasn't a rug pull. But go ahead, Conrad.
Sean, I'm going to say the same thing they did. I do not disagree with you. I disagree with Jesse on he didn't know. I think they told him, and he got the boo-boo face. They're like, you're still under contract. We're still going to take care of you. Because when he came out, a lot of people pointed out, and I was like, yeah, he did come out looking like real, like, well, whatever.
He did.
Hey, go back and watch on the pre-show, Jesse. He had boo-boo face. I could see it. I was like, they ain't going to do that. They're not going to do that. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he just had that sad look on his face. But here's why, Sean, I don't think they're going to do it. And I've told Jesse this from the beginning. They invested so much money in Cody. Bruce Pritchard, first off, his dad's Dusty Rhodes. He already knows how to play these games. He done heard every story about Dusty don't trust Vince. This is why I don't. If you will, baby. My son Bernard and Cody, they're going to be out there making that money for me. That's for the Stingers, the Lugers, and my son. I got to have it. But He took him from AEW from an EVP position. He was probably making good money there. I'm not saying he was broke, but Cody wanted more. So they said, listen, we're going to give you the world title, but there's more to this. Cody has, I wish I had keys in front of me, the keys to the AEW kingdom. He knows when all the contracts end. You don't tell me you don't think they're not sharing this info. Cody's like, yeah, I know when Ricky Starks is done. Yeah, I know when Wardlow's done if you want him, and I know when MJF's going to be done. He may not know all the details now after all the drama happened and he went over to WWE, but he can get in contact with him. And he can say, Max, come on over. The water's fine. They need Cody. So as much, he's a bargaining chip in all of this, no matter what. They trust Cody. Those guys believed it. That was my boss at one point. So now they're like, hey, boss, what are you doing? I'm making a lot more money. You guys want to come over and make some money with me? Heck yeah!
You're getting a little wild over here. AEW. You want to come? You want to come? You want to come to where the water is nice?
Yeah. You think QT Marshall's not about to be working in NXT? Watch it. Watch what's gonna happen. QT's gonna be down there. Yeah, I'm the guest coach this week.
Oh,
yeah,
hey, by the way, you know that Jade Cargill girl that looked super hot on TV and in AEW? She was undefeated. I can get you her number.
Not even her number. You want to get on three-way with her? Like,
yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And you can tell he's the type of person that keeps good relationships. I'm telling you, the only person I feel like now that AEW has that WWE cannot get back, who I feel is killing AEW, is Toni Storm.
It's Swerve.
Right. But I feel like they did not like what she was in WWE to what she is now. I enjoy watching her now. I enjoy her, everything about her. She brings me back to the essence of wrestling in the 80s. I love her. I love that every time you see her, the screen goes black and white. I love the butler she has behind her. Everything about that, they never even gave her a chance in WWE to do what she's doing now.
And some people are elevated from it too.
Yeah,
that's
absolutely.
True.
All right, let's go 2-minute warning through some of these comments, and we'll get into the main event, okay, guys? Because oh my God, I'm ready to roll. Campbell talks about Brett and Sean. They deserve 60 minutes. I loved it when they were younger, but match didn't age well. That's a sound assessment. You know.
Mm-hmm.
And Lizzie, she said the first Royal Rumble I ever watched on pay-per-view was the 96 Rumble. Big Shawn Michaels fan in the main event, Brett versus Taker. That's what's up. Prince Rockstar in the building. Big shout out to you. He says AFK guy, screw that Bret Hart guy. Oh gosh, okay. Not a Bret Hart fan, I guess. Doug is in the building once again, says, I watched that live on the Black Box. If you know, you know. I definitely know. And they definitely don't show that angle anymore. Okay, that's what's up. So that's the answer to your question earlier about Rock in 2000. Dark Elite Eric in the building says that's probably the home video edit on Peacock. You're probably right. Terrell, once again, he's been really active. Appreciate you in the chat, man. He says Hubbard Wrestling Weekly, Stone Cold winning the 2001 Royal Rumble was big. We had the 3 stages of hell at No Way Out, then the handshake with the devil at X7, and that shocked the world. Stone Cold definitely was on a run in 2001. There's no question about that. Run in 2001, I coined that phrase. Guy Will Gamble, I don't recall seeing that angle on Rock until Raw the next night. Okay, fair enough. Paul White as the money returns might have been lit. We talked about that earlier. I'm scrolled down a little bit. Doug with another comment. This is directed to Conrad. Conrad as a witness. While I agree the booking was atrocious, it was always a Roman guy. He was. I always saw it. So he's saying that he always saw the potential in Roman Reigns from the start.
Mm-hmm.
I think me and Rob always agreed on that.
Yeah, I think Rob is correct on that, but at the same time, I think a lot of people hitch their wagon to Seth Rollins. Terrell says, question for Hubbard, Pro, Conrad, and Crystal. All right, this is for all of us, guys. If you take Cody out of the 2023 Royal Rumble, does Dominic win? The Bloodline storyline started against the Mysterios, or does Gunther win? The stretch. I see where he's going. It's a little bit of a stretch.
Yeah.
You guys can answer, whoever wants to take it.
No, I don't think it's going to be Dominic.
There was one thing that popped me on the last Clash of the podcast. I was listening on the road the other day, and I told Conrad about this. Mm-hmm. Like, while I'm getting heated about you saying that Cody's not finishing the story and all this stuff, and I'm listening, but when you start laughing and you say, can we agree that if The Rock's music hits at the Royal Rumble, it's all done for Cody? And the only thing I can do while I'm cracking up is nodding my head yes. Like, it's a wrap, Rizzy, man. Like, it's done. It's done.
That's why I respect you. I mean, you acknowledge what it is. If rock music hits at Rumble, it is pretty much a wrap.
I told you you gonna have that funny smell hit your pants. Like what?
Yeah.
It's over. It's over.
So, but my other prediction was that would be just amazing, and I know a lot of people won't stand by this, but what if The Rock did come in and it's only one person in the ring at the time, and that is Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes tosses him, reassuring, guess who's going to WrestleMania?
Now that would be solidifying Cody in a major way. That would be definitely stamp of approval on Cody if he could eliminate The Rock. My God,
it would be huge.
Guy will gamble, but that year Roman Reigns was suffering succotash changed a lot for Reigns. Yeah, that's true. The suffering succotash promo. Good God Almighty.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Woo! That was rough. Nah, they definitely like Reigns, and the Shield was super hot. The Shield was hot, not Roman Reigns. Guy will gamble. This was before Reigns was stamped the Golden Child. Gomar agrees with you, Conrad, saying that booing Ray is wild. Whatever.
He did nothing wrong. That man came out and was like, kids, who's got my back? Shut up, Ray. We don't want you out here. He's like, I'm just going to the ring. I'm just going in.
And Lizzie agrees it was wild when Roman Reigns got booed. Prince Rockstar can't wrap his head around the fact of booing Roman Reigns. I'm skimming down a little bit. Dark Elite Eric says, I feel it was still a mixed reaction when Rock was out there at the Royal Rumble. Yeah, maybe it was a mixed reaction, possibly, but whoever sees Rock get a mixed reaction in 2014.
Correct.
2015. The Rock getting a mixed reaction in 2015?
I think fans knew what they were trying to pull.
Yeah, I guess.
Because I remember looking at it, I was like, oh, this isn't going to work.
Vinny, the only Vinny I like in the building. Roman was over in 2014. Only Vinny I like saying stuff that's just not true, brother. Come on. That's
I
not
still like
true.
you, Vinny, and I agree.
Over in 2014, bro. Welcome anyway, Vinny. We appreciate it. M. Leezy says Roman had to go, had that go away heat that tells you. You know what he had? I'm gonna finish the comment. That tells you that the fans wanted guys like Ambrose, Bryan, Ziggler in the main event spot. I agree. He got that X-Pac heat. That's what he got. And nobody wants X-Pac heat. And that's a fact. That's a fact. Rob says, sorry, y'all. Dean Ambrose has always, okay, now my computer's messing. I'm gonna read it from here. Dean Ambrose always has and continues to suck. I don't agree. Dean Ambrose, John Moxley is pretty awesome. I mean, he's had his moments, but
that's how I am with him. He's definitely a you have your moments kind of thing with me.
Yeah, I can take him or leave him. I'm not a fan. Seth, I'm a fan of. Seth, I'm a huge
fan. How can you not like Seth? You know what I'm saying? He's Seth freaking Rollins, except if your name is Conrad Kushner.
Till he bust out that money on you.
Renegade says, I'm pretty France, pretty excited, probably meant to say for France at Backlash, want the world champions in town. Roman sure as hell won't go. That's a fact. Roman will not be in France. Prince Rockstar says Cody will never finish the story. Team Jesse, take a breath, brother. Take a breath.
It breathes, Jesse.
It's blind hatred at this point. You know what I mean?
Jesse, I'm with you.
It's not me though. It's not me.
It is blind hatred. Go check every poll on Twitter right now and see if The Rock has won any single one of those polls going into WrestleMania. Not a single one. And we're talking from accounts with hundreds of thousands of followers. Getting polls done. Who do you want to see in the main event at WrestleMania? Cody, Roman. Nobody wants The Rock there except for casual fans. And that's all it's going to happen. Like Conrad said, his wife, you know what I mean? Oh, The Rock's going to be there? That's pretty cool. My wife is a casual fan, and even she was like, get The Rock out of here. Cody's finishing his story. You know what I mean? And she don't watch it that much. But she's like, what is he doing? You know? Well, why is he back, you know?
I text Sean as soon as he came out. I was like, what did I tell you? Like, my thumbs were burning.
I'm still not technically wrong.
For a year.
I'm still not technically wrong.
Oh, Hub, you're gonna be wrong. He's wrestling again. He's gonna wrestle.
What I say, Conrad, you got to back me up on this. I said he would not wrestle at 40. That's what I said. I said he would not wrestle at 40. That's what I said.
First, you said he wasn't coming back. It would be nice. I miss Dwayne. I miss him. I'm gonna admit, I miss him so much. That's what I'm offended. That's what you were saying.
And I amended it. You know why? Because I'm smart. And that's what smart people do. They amend what they say to make themselves right in the end. I said, I'm standing on business. The Rock will not wrestle at 40. Let's go back to the comments.
Hey, hold on. Let's address Vinny's latest comment. Twitter isn't real life fans, or fans will tell you otherwise. Do fans tell you otherwise every single Monday night? Whoa! Cody he is so over. It is ridiculous. I went to a show in Kennewick, Washington. Kennewick, freaking Washington. Google it. Small town. And this was a non-televised event. This has never sold out for WWE. This venue has never sold out for WWE. Okay? Sell out. Cody's there. Cody just recently did more non-televised events. Listen, he just did a recent televised event. He had to pull in 1,000 more of those belts, those weight belts, to sign them because they ran out of at least 3,000 belts. Dude. What fans are going to tell me? That's all I'm going to say. Like, what fans are going to tell me otherwise?
That's not all you're going to say because the time has come. Let's just acknowledge some more real comments. I like a guy Will Gamble bringing up Seth and oh, I love that. I see what he did. I see what he did by Setho, Macho, Randy. Wow! Oh man,
that's what I said to you guys on Monday. That they match each other. That's definitely
so accurate. Yeah. That's so accurate. Guy Will Gamble. And Vinny's comment about Maven eliminating Undertaker. It was funny, but it was also pretty awesome too. That was a big moment.
Maven has one of the best drop kicks ever. Leave my boy. I want Maven to make an appearance in the Rumble. If I can get a special guest appearance, that's who I want to see in there. Throw that drop kick one time.
Man, that boy is calling out WWE lately on his famous YouTube channel. He ain't going to nowhere near that.
He getting them clicks, bro. He's gonna hit that drop kick one time. He was almost a commentator. Did you hear that story?
I did.
Real quick, right before everything happened, before the world shut down, Maven was going to move to Orlando to become a commentator on one of their shows.
Really
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Conrad? You kind of resemble him in a weird way, you know.
I used to get that.
Fans? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Maven.
Hey, Conrad, throw me a drop kick real quick.
You don't want to. There's gonna be a lot of noise up in here.
Throw me that drop kick, man. We'll see the resemblance.
Guy Will Gamble putting me on Front Street. You're supposed to be my boy, Guy Will Gamble. I don't know what's going on here. Vinny,
Guy Will Gamble, you understand where I'm coming from, and you understand where the angst is for me with Sean with this.
You know what? I'm sick and tired of this crap. Let's get into this. The preliminary matches have come to its conclusion. Okay. And now we are here for what the world is ready for. By the way, a record number of people in the chat today. I want to give a big real talk. I want to that's pretty good. I want to give a big shout out to the chat right now because this is a big number for me. I'm not embarrassed to say that. Conrad, Jesse, Crystal, I equate that to you, but I will give myself a little bit of credit and of course to the Most High for a lot of the work that I've been trying to do. I'm doing my best, guys. So thank you guys so much for the support. Now, Royal Rumble 2024. We've touched base on it. I'm going to give Jesse the floor first. I want you to pick a Royal Rumble winner. I wonder who you're going to pick.
There's 2 Rumbles.
No, we're going to talk about the men's Royal Rumble first, and then we're going to get into the women's Royal Rumble as well, because there's... Matter of fact, maybe we should start with the women's Royal Rumble. I think we should start with the women's Royal Rumble first, because there's stuff to talk about for both. The women's Royal Rumble, there's a lot of talk about who's going to be in the match and who's going to win the match. Previous female entrants include Nia Jax, the late great Chyna. There's been many women who have come into the match and made a tremendous impact. Mickie James, speaking of impact, made a surprise entrance a couple of years ago as the Knockouts champion. Talk about, Jesse, I guess you could say the prediction for your match for the match and on the women's side, and also some surprises that we might see. I know who I want to see, but I have my doubts. So give me what you're thinking.
So for the women's Royal Rumble, the last 2 years, I want to say the women's Royal Rumble was the Royal Rumble match of the night, I would say. Mm-hmm. But This year, it's kind of weird for me, man. I have a weird feeling, and I hate to even say this out loud because I just don't want to say it out loud, but I'm gonna. Nia Jax, I feel like, is gonna surprise everybody and take this Royal Rumble, and I know it's gonna make a lot of people mad, but I feel like that's what we've been building towards is Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So surprises, I think AJ Lee is coming back, man. I think AJ Lee is gonna make a return in this Rumble, and it's gonna blow the freaking roof off the place because we've seen the same returns over and over. You know, Michelle McCool, you got Melina, you got Mickie James will probably make an interest. I think we're gonna get more surprises in the women's Royal Rumble match than we will in the men's. I don't see a lot of surprise entries coming in the men's this year. I maybe one, maybe two, but I think the women's is that highlight because of who they're going to have win the men's Royal Rumble.
And who do you have taking it all this year and going to be the challenger for the main event at WrestleMania?
CM Punk.
No. I'm talking about the women's. Did you say? Did I miss it? You talking about the
Nia Jax?
You said Nia Jax.
Nia Jax. That's who I think is winning.
Oh no! Oh God! I thought you said that was something that popped
for the men's. I think it's CM Punk.
Oh my goodness!
No, she's not like most girls.
She certainly isn't.
I can't. All right, Conrad, I can't stand you right now. Crystal, we're gonna touch on men's Royal Rumble a little bit more, but Crystal, women's Royal Rumble. Give me some surprises. Give me your winner.
Okay, so for surprises, I feel like I'm gonna back Jesse up with AJ Lee. I also think Jade Cargill, Sasha Banks, and or Naomi. I feel like those are I feel like they're big contenders for being surprises to come back. Dakota Kai really bores me, but that's sorry, Prince. I don't know. I don't really.
Me too.
She's been rounding out her character a little bit lately.
Yeah, but I just feel like that whole for some reason they don't interest me as much as they should. For the winner, again, Jesse, I have to agree. I think it's Nia Jax. I think since she came back, they've been building it up for her to win it, and I think she's going to take it all. And again, I do think it's going to be. I know that Becky Lynch wants it with Rhea, but I think it's going to be Nia Jax.
So we got two people I respect saying Nia Jax.
I think so.
Which is to me I'm so disappointed in her.
I didn't want to say it out loud. I did say that before, right?
I think that I don't think that. I mean, I don't know. I can't speak for you, Conrad. I don't think that in general people are impressed with her. But again, I feel like she's getting a push, an unfair advantage, a push. Like, how do you just come back and all of a sudden you're in everyone's faces? You seem to get so many matches. Like, you're not. I don't think that she's getting the reaction that is warranted for how much she shows up, in my opinion.
I hear you. Conrad, Women's Royal Rumble. Give me your surprises and give me your prediction.
With what everyone said, I'm going to go with AJ Lee. I could see Trinity showing up or Naomi. She'll probably have the old name back. And I'm still not sold on Mercedes. I don't know where she's going to go. I could see her showing up here, just even if it's for a test, like, hey, let's see how it works. Let's see what the reaction is if you show up out there. We could see it. Maybe it'll happen.
If Mercedes shows up at the Rumble, I am going to go off on the internet and James is going to have to delete some tweets again. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. I'm sick of the dirt sheets reporting certain things and not having the facts, but I don't think that she's coming. But if she does, dude, it's going to be a wild night on Twitter, I'll tell you.
We'll see. We'll see what happens with it. But my pick to win the Women's Royal Rumble, I'm going to stand on this one, and I don't feel confident in saying it because I do think there's a backup pick that you could pick, and it'll be just fine too. Bayley. I think Bayley's story has been incredible, and that's the one thing that her group wouldn't be able to take away from her, and I think she's getting jumped out the group eventually.
Oh, absolutely.
All right.
I hope you're right.
Yeah, I like all your predictions from a creative standpoint. I can't stand Jesse and Crystal's prediction from a personal standpoint. I totally understand it from a creative standpoint, and Conrad's I understand from a creative standpoint as well. I'm gonna say that Mercedes Moné does make a return. I think we're gonna see Naomi early in the match as well, and people are gonna think that's the big return. AJ, I'm 50-50 about. I think AJ still has some issues health-wise that might hinder her a little bit. Not saying she couldn't come back, but I think she's content. This is just me speculating. I think she's content in her life right now and in her role and doing what she's doing. Obviously, CM Punk coming back makes a great deal of doors open as a possibility for her coming back, so I'm not closed off to it. And it would be awesome if she did. But for the sake of argument, I'm going to say she doesn't. I'm going to say Naomi comes back, and people think that's going to be the big blast. Jade Cargill finally makes her in-ring debut because she needs to, because it's been long enough since she hasn't. That's my stance on that. And I think Mercedes Moné comes in at number 30 and shocks the world. I really do. But what's even going to be more shocking than that is when Mercedes Moné comes in at number 30 and Bayley eliminates her to win the Royal Rumble. That's where I'm at with it. So I say Mercedes, Trinity, make the surprise entrance along with Jade Cargill, and I say that Bayley gets her moment in the sun and sets off a jealousy wave in Damage Control and wins her first Royal Rumble. That's where I'm at with it. So let's see what some of the people in the chat have to say. Sir Quill says Mercedes Moné. Mercedes Moné ain't coming back. I don't see it happening, but more than likely Trinity will be back in the Rumble. Guy Will Gamble says also, when do we finally get the Unstoppable Force actually win the Royal Rumble? Maybe it should be Nia. So Guy Will Gamble agrees with Jesse and Crystal. Let's kind of rapid fire these. Renegade says Sasha and Naomi left together. They'll return together. It's obvious. So he agrees with me. Shout out to Renegade. Terrell says Hub, Conrad, Crystal, and Pro. Will MJF show it? Yeah, we're going to talk about the Men's Royal Rumble in a minute. There are Renegade says they are selling Sasha Naomi merch as well. Have you guys heard that?
I did see at the corner of my eye while scrolling through all of the news today, I did see something of a t-shirt. Not with both of them on it, but it looked like a new shirt. And I was like, where did that come from? And then it disappeared, kind of. So
I feel like the merch always messes up and does that.
Well, if that's the case, then what are we even talking about right now?
Well, hold on. Last year they had Victoria's Tron playing too outside that a picture got taken of, and Victoria didn't show back up. So
okay, touche. Terrell says Okada and MJF could be surprised. We're going to talk about that. Dakota Kai is somebody M. Leezy likes. Renegade, Booker T's coming back. X-Pac Renegade. Sir Quill says I'm going Bayley for the win, and a little Shucky Ducky from. I like that. So listen, let's get to this now. I'm gonna start off with my tag team partner. Look, this is gonna be a war because I'm standing on business. I know Crystal's standing on business. I know Jess is standing on business, and I know Conrad, you're standing on business.
Oh wait, hold on.
What do we got? We got breaking news.
WWE shop.
Oh boy, look at that. That's an exclusive. Oh boy.
And yet again, I say.
Oh boy. For those listening on audio right now, Jesse from Pro Wrestling Suit just dropped a bomb and showed the viewers on YouTube a picture of a Boss and Glow t-shirt currently on WWE Shop. That's crazy.
It's on a sponsor as well. So I don't know if I can get a good.
That is great. That's a
sponsor post on Facebook
right there.
And yet again, I say it's always the merch that you have to look out for before anybody else comes in.
That is wild. So let's wrap this thing up, bro. Like Trinity and Mercedes are coming back. That's where I'm at with it. I feel 90% now. I don't know about y'all.
I'm gonna visit WWE Shop right now just to see.
Crazy.
It's boss time.
All right, so let's do this, man. Because I'm angry. I'm tired. Crystal's been jumping on me. Jesse's been jumping on me. Conrad subliminally jumps on me. He tries to be nice about it.
Hey, I agreed with you. If the Rock's music hits, it's a wrap.
I appreciate that. But listen,
okay, I agreed.
I'm gonna just go right into it. I'm going to say, because I like being right, I enjoy being right. For those who don't know, I really like being right. Hearing Sean, you're right, brings me joy. Joy. So for that reason, I'm going to say that Cody Rhodes is going to win the Royal Rumble. However, there is a lot of things in me that makes me believe that is not going to happen. Number one, Dwayne Johnson is back in the mix. I said he wouldn't be, but he is. Dwayne Johnson is definitely embroidered back into the WWE family. Not that he ever left, but more now than ever. And everyone on God's green earth wants to see Roman versus The Rock. Now, here's my thing, guys, lady and gentlemen, and chat. My stance is solid because my stance is not based in hatred nor sarcasm. It is based in pure professional wrestling knowledge. Let's put aside the fact, Crystal, that I was wrong about Dwayne never coming back. Okay? But now that he's back, that is the biggest match WWE can put on. Now, I do not, under any circumstances, Conrad, get ready because I'm coming to you first. I do not in any way give WWE my vote of confidence for doing what's right. They very rarely do what's right. Jesse, Crystal, Conrad, that's what they do. They mess things up. Why they continue to make money hand over fist, I don't know. But from a storyline perspective, they suck. They suck 50% of the time. And this is not basketball, and it certainly isn't baseball, and it's not passing a football, so 50% is not good in my book when you're talking about a predetermined product. Therefore, the belief that WWE is going to honor their agreement, which I agree, Jesse, Crystal, that they are going to honor the agreement that Cody Rhodes will win the title from Roman Reigns. That's the caveat, ladies and gentlemen. From Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. I do not stand on that. Therefore, though I am picking though I am picking Cody Rhodes to win the Royal Rumble, I have very, very small confidence in that. And if you smell during that evening while the match is going on, shut it down, turn out the lights, the party's over. It's over. Quick caveat, MJF does not come to WWE. I don't believe that. I don't think there'll be any major surprise unless you call Brock Lesnar a surprise, which is not a surprise. So that's where I'm at. Cody wins the Royal Rumble, but I am very, very shaky on that. Conrad.
I don't even know where to start with all of this.
Would you cut it out and just go?
The surprises. When it comes to it, I'd like to see some strange people in there, like Chris Masters we haven't seen in a while. Maybe you get something with him and Carlito. Maven was mentioned before. We could do something with that. I've even mentioned, if he can do it and if he wants to, have Waltman shave the beard one time and give me the 1, 2, 3 kid, even if it's just for a few seconds.
He's been wrestling on the indies.
Yeah, but I want him to shave that beard and he come. No X-Pac. We've seen X-Pac 1,000 times. I want the 1, 2, 3 kid to come out one time, do a couple spin kicks, do what he's gonna do, maybe a face buster, then you could get rid of him. But let him go in there.
Yeah. So sorry to cut you off too. I was out. So James is the one that sent me this. He's in the chat right now. And
big shout out to James. Appreciate you.
He said that that's not his screenshot, but it was taken 3 days ago from the Euro shop, because I just went on WWE shop, did not find it. Yeah.
Wild.
Oh, you're on the Euro shop right now?
Yeah, I'm on the Euro shop. It's on the Euro shop.
Okay, it's a wrap.
Yeah, see you Saturday, Trinity and Mercedes.
Okay.
what were we saying? We mentioned Lesnar before. Yeah, I don't see Lesnar. I think he's going to be put on ice.
Ooh.
I don't think he's getting a Mania match. I think plans are going to have to change when it comes down to it. Who wins this? You have two choices. Can I just say Punk and Cody sold the Rumble 10 times more than they had to? Like, the Rumble sells itself now, but that promo segment, I was locked in. I was like, yes, this is how you cut a promo. Is it WWE watered down a little bit? I'll put 10% on that. That's fair. Some people are talking about Okada coming in and ruining both their moments. I don't see Okada coming in. I think Okada's going to honor those New Japan dates. He's going to take his time and figure. But I do not think WWE's out of the question. I think if Okada signs, he will sign at WrestleMania if they can get him. They will make him a big deal and say he is signed, and they'll figure out what they're going to do with him. I'm going to make a prediction, and I'm going to stick with what I've always said. CM Punk is going to win the Royal Rumble, and he will go to Australia to have a match. But I think Cody's going to be the one competing in the chamber to try to get another chance at Roman for the adversity that they put in play last year.
I agree.
I'm going to throw it to Crystal. Yeah, we're saving you for the end, Jesse. Crystal, it's on you. Give me a
I don't know why you're saving Jesse for the end, because you see how he sat up in his chair when he was talking about the winners. Listen.
Oh, I listen. We're not done because this is a serious thing, man. Because I'm passionate. Everybody's passionate. Go ahead, Crystal.
I have 4 potential winners, right? Because I've really been thinking about this. One,
catching your bets, are we?
Of course, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, or I feel like Gunther or Drew McIntyre. I feel like people are really sleeping on Drew. Like, we haven't mentioned him this whole time. The way his character has changed within the past couple of months, I'm actually interested in him. When he was slicing ropes and doing all types of stupidness, I couldn't stand him. Now I'm like, wait a minute. Like, he's interesting. He can talk, right? Like, his promo's really good. So especially the promo he had with Cody, when he was like, listen, you don't have to do this. You don't have to smile. You don't have, like, I did all these things. It didn't work. I feel like people aren't looking at Drew like they should. So those 4 are my predictions. I will not be surprised if any of them win it. For the surprise, I do think that it's going to be MJF.
Really? You think that he's going to come over?
I do. Absolutely.
I will dog Tony Khan for one of my shows for the entire show. He will be dogged on air badly by me.
Let me clarify, Crystal. When I ask that question, when I say do you think he's going to come over, I mean you think he's coming over this soon? That's what I mean.
Absolutely. Because why would he wait? There's no reason. You got to strike while it's hot. Mind you, I don't agree with what they did with him in AEW, making him a face. I think that is super boring. Him getting, I like none of it, right? So I feel like with him coming over, he has the backing of, and he wants to be there, and he also knows his promo, he's on top. Why would you wait? He's young. He doesn't need a break. You see what happened when Brett took that break when he went to WCW? It was all downhill.
Well, I think, first of all, let me start by saying you're 100% right about Brett taking that month off, but I think MJF's still recovering from some injuries, though. He's a little bit banged up.
Right, but I feel like if he takes it light but makes an appearance there, that it's going to be major for him.
Oh, it would. It definitely would. But I'm not going to let you off the hook. You have to pick a winner. I know you kind of gave me 4 finalists, but you got to pick a winner.
Probably CM Punk.
CM Punk. All right. So listen, here's how we're going to end tonight's show. First of all, tonight was awesome. I can't believe we're already hour and a half in. That's crazy. Let's get into this. Cody is, without a shadow of a doubt, a tremendous top-tier talent in the world of professional wrestling. I've never said anything other than that. Do I think that he showed a little bit of disloyalty to his own company? Yes. Do I think that he probably should have made a different decision? Yes, but he's made the decision he's made. He's been successful. He overcame the pectoral injury. He's overcome all this stuff to become a household name. Cover of 2K24. There's no question that he's unbelievable, right? I just think at this stage in his career that he's made a career decision that he's never going to be able to come back from. He better win the title. That's all I'm trying to say. I hope to God he does. Because for all he's given up And we're getting into some real life stuff now. We're getting into some morality stuff. We're getting into some honor and loyalty stuff. For all that he's given up, he better win the title, because in my opinion, I feel like he alienated himself from where he came from. You know what I'm saying? He alienated. Now, he could probably go back to AEW, probably, but will it ever be as good as it was before? I don't think so. I think he made a decision that was based on, you know what, I want to honor my father's legacy, which we all can appreciate. But at the end of the day, like, they didn't do Dusty Rhodes right when he was there, right? God rest his soul. See, everything I'm talking about, guys, is based on my knowledge of WWE standards and practices as it relates to how they treat their talent. Dusty Rhodes was a decorated Hall of Fame professional wrestler who wore black tights with a D and an R on them and cowboy boots, and won 3 NWA world titles in the NWA. Comes to WWE, they put him in polka dots and have him dance in the ring with a lady named Sapphire. Go ahead.
I don't agree.
Okay.
Remember, before Hogan, Vince was poaching him to be the head of WWE. He said no. By the time he was ready to go over, Vince didn't want to really play ball like he wanted to before. A lot of people know that Vince was very vengeful back in the day. I think what happened was he didn't strike where the iron was hot, and Vince was like, well, now we got somebody. We got who we want to get.
You want an example for help? Harley Race. Harley Race punched Vince McMahon in the face the first time he asked him to join. And then he went years later, and look what he did to him.
And look what he did with him. That's what I'm saying to you. I think that they said that they named Virgil after Dusty to make fun of him. Like, that's what I'm saying to you. I think that Vince was like, all right, well, when I was begging you to come, you didn't want to have anything to do with it.
But what are we disagreeing about, Chris? Nothing.
I'm disagreeing about, you're saying how he did him. At one point, he wanted him. He was chasing after him. Do you see what I'm saying to you? I feel like Dusty only did what he did because he really needed the money for it. But I think that I think that Cody's like, now I can negotiate how I wanted to. My father couldn't negotiate. Even though they did his father dirty, they have to handle his son a different way.
Well, that's the bit. Go ahead, Conrad.
I'll piggyback off of what she's saying. I think that Dusty had choices that he could have made, and Cody watched the bad choices that his father made. And sometimes Dusty was rolling in the dough, and I'm sure there were times where Dusty's out there wrestling independent shows because he made a mistake. I think Cody's smarter than that. I've watched how these guys work. To me, the culmination of the Rhodes family was a show that I was at, Battleground. They faced off against the Shield. When I promise you, I'm getting goosebumps talking about it because it reminds me of my father. The stories about your daddy, your family, you can't let anyone, their jobs were on the line. They went in there and did it. Goldust tackled Roman so he couldn't get it. And when Cody grabbed Seth and he screams, I was like, this dude gets it. And me and Rob, we counted the 3, and I was like, that was one of the best. That show sucked, by the way. And I said, that was one of the best matches I've ever seen live because they got me into it and made me believe. And then when they're up on the stage crying with their daddy, they honored Dusty when they wanted to. They knew how special Dusty was. NXT is basically built off of his back, and he is honored down there. Cody knows that this company respects his family, but Cody also knows that he has a past. He's done some things his way, and that's just the pro wrestling life with it. What Chris was saying makes sense. They'll treat you bad when you don't do what they want you to do at the same time, but they respect Dusty too. They know who he is, and he'll play ball.
Chess, go.
So I'm gonna bring up a couple of things that I always find funny when wrestling fans say this about, loyalty. There is not, unless you are the Undertaker, there is not a single loyal professional wrestler on this planet. It is about making the most money in the shortest amount of time possible. Okay, I'm going to say that. When Cody was in AEW, another thing, we don't know what happened between him, Tony Khan, and the Bucks. We don't know. I hear fans talk about it. And it blows me away because these guys apparently left on good terms, right?
Mhm.
Cody left on, good terms, right?
Depends on who you ask. Yeah.
Yeah, but who you asking? Because nobody knows, Conrad. You know how many NDAs Tony Khan's throwing around here. Let's be real.
A lot.
Okay? And I think Cody and CM Punk are both sharing a Pepsi in the back, laughing about what is going on in AEW and thinking, man, did we make the greatest choice of our life?
And Jade Cargill too.
Jade Cargill too. AEW is in complete shambles right now. They just literally had a Dynamite in front of 1,500 people.
It was bad. I was talking about that.
Wild. Wild. Okay?
Let's not pretend Jade was treated bad either, though. Let's not.
I didn't say that. I didn't say that. But
Okay.
you brought up MJF coming over, right? What was it about that love letter that he wrote about professional wrestling a month back, 2 months back? When was it? When he wrote this long, I don't know if you read it, Hubbs. Did you read it? Long letter.
Players Tribune.
Yes. What is that about? If he shows up in the WWE at the Royal Rumble, I'm going to say this. You can be Okada all you want. Nothing in the professional wrestling market is bigger than MJF coming over to your territory. Period. He would be the hottest free agent. He would be the biggest transition from AEW to WWE. CM Punk was a given, right? Like that was already like, hey, gotcha, you know? Quoting Dave Chappelle, I won't say the rest of it out of respect.
I appreciate
it. But that move, CM Punk coming to WWE, was just to spite AEW. Them losing MJF would be the biggest mess up of Tony Khan's life.
You might as well think about shutting down the doors.
Who do you got?
Right.
Right now, that show is. I mean, I don't want to look. We need AEW. I'm going to go on and say that we need AEW. Professional wrestling is not good without an AEW. Let's just put it that way. But there is nobody holding down that show right now that is going to draw the eyes. Maybe when Ospreay comes in. But for right now, you got Swerve, you got Joe. I don't know what the hell the Bucks are doing. Because this gimmick thing that they're doing right now, it makes me sick every time I watch it. Because to them it's funny. To me, it's like you damn near ruined your company. Getting rid of your biggest draw. Because you wanted to keep certain friends employed that aren't doing nothing for the business. So if they lose MJF, I really don't know what to say about Tony Khan anymore.
I think that when you look in the annals of time, when this whole thing is all said and done, and Cody is a former world champion and retired in the Hall of Fame, we'll look back at 2023 and 2024 and possibly 2025 as the most tumultuous in the history of his career with some of the decisions he's had to make. I never tried to make it seem like he was a bad person. Conrad will back me up. I think Cody has shown himself to be a very good person. I think Cody made a decision that I wouldn't have agreed with. But you're right. None of us know the true idiosyncrasies that went into his decision. We do the best we can to do our homework, but we're not inside those doors, right? Hopefully one day we all will be, right? My mouth to God's ears. But at the end of the day, he better win the title. And I want to go on record and say something that I've never said before. Just because I don't think he will at 40 doesn't mean I don't want him to. I've always said that I don't think Rock deserves to be in that spot. I've always said that Cody deserves the opportunity to finish the story. I don't like the way they're putting it together. I hate the idea of having when the 1, 2, 3 hits at 39 that we know what's going to happen at 40. I'm not about that. Conrad likes predictability. I hate it.
Hey, I'm with you.
But as far as the outcome, if the night ends on April 7th with us hearing Cody's music and fireworks going off and him holding a gold belt over his head, I will not have a problem with it. My stance has always been the same. I don't trust World Wrestling Entertainment. I never have. Well, I take that back. I have in the past. I don't anymore. And we'll just have to wait and see. But this was awesome, guys. I don't know if you guys have anything else, but I know that we touched on a lot of things. Yes, please, Jess.
Just one more thing. If The Rock's music hits at the Rumble,
Right.
after that promo that we just got from Cody and CM Punk, that would be my number 2 match for WrestleMania 40.
Okay.
I would not be mad at that at all, because I seen somebody put together a video on Twitter where they played the My Way from Limp Bizkit, the My Way song, and they slowed down the promo from CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. And I was like, okay, now I kind of don't care about this title anymore. I kind of want to see CM Punk versus Cody Rhodes. So if
they
that
did
happened,
the Hogan Rock too.
yeah. So
Wow.
phenomenal. And I want to end on Conrad. When I say predictability is bad, I don't think it's all bad. I think some predictability is bad. Some predictability is okay.
Pull my
Cody
words
Rhodes
up.
winning the title at WrestleMania 40, predictable. It's the right choice.
Yeah, not always bad is what I said. I don't
Always.
mind a little like surprise. I love a surprise. I love if Chris Masters came out for the Royal Rumble. Well, I'm surprised. Cool, that's great. It's not always bad though. When someone's like, "Oh, it's so obvious John Cena's gonna win," and I'm like, "Okay, I'm glad you watch wrestling." Like, congrats.
Adam Cole as the devil was the worst decision, period.
Come on. Thank you, man. I mean, somebody make some sense right now. The devil situation with Adam Cole, like you just said. And I just want to make sure I heard you. Are you saying you're okay with the fact that once the referee's hand hit 3 times at 39, that you okay knowing what was going to happen at 40?
Me?
Yeah.
No, I almost broke my TV.
Okay.
Yeah, no. You don't want my reaction for 39. It was
Okay.
not good.
Crystal, how did you feel about basically all of us knowing from 39, from the time 39 went off the air, that we knew it was going to happen at 40? Were you okay with that?
No. I mean, I felt like Jesse when I saw the end. I was in shock. Like, I was working and I ran home. Like, that was a lot. I was like, I have to see this. When he got the win, when Roman got the win, and I'm a Roman fan, I was so perturbed by this.
Okay, so this is what I want to do then. I'm going to start with, since I cut Crystal off, I want to go straight back to Crystal, then back to Jesse, then to Conrad. Let me rephrase. After we got over the complete shock, by the way, Conrad, who said that Cody would not finish the story at 39?
You did.
Don't answer that.
Appreciate that. Thank you.
Don't answer
So
that.
I'm just saying, I said it at 39, I'm saying it at 40. I hope I'm wrong. But here's the deal. Let's start with this, Crystal. I'll come back to you, Jesse, afterwards. After the shock, that is. Okay, so the next morning, after you digested what happened, did it make you happy as a fan, and now somewhat of a journalist as well, to know that here 364 days later, we can pretty much see the main event of 40 right after 39 finished? Was that cool with you?
No.
Right. Jesse, was that cool with you after you digested, after you took a moment to relax, and then you realized, oh, wait a minute, they're going to run it back at 40? Was that cool with you?
After I digested it a lot, I'm not going to say a little, I'm going to say a lot, because, yeah, it makes sense now in hindsight. It makes sense. At the time, no. I thought, we should have. Why are we doing this, right? Because now we have to think, even if Cody goes to Mania, there's still that what if, you got Hogan's record on the line,
Right.
that is the thing right now.
Right. And that wouldn't be till SummerSlam, or help me out.
After SummerSlam.
After
September.
Yeah.
I don't think he's
So-
going to beat Hogan's record.
I just think it's silly because it's not the same. It's not the same title when you look at it. You had 2 titles merged. This is a brand new title that only Roman has held.
Right.
So the fact that they're carrying on this record, that's great that they're carrying that he's held the title for this long, X amount of days, right? That's cool because he has. But to beat a record from the original WWF Winged Eagle, or even before the Winged Eagle, it's just, I don't know. It's silly to put off pushing the future when you just don't know what's going to happen with time. Time does jobs for nobody. And we all know Roman's past, his illness. We know Cody's injury history. We know that things happen. Seth Rollins. You know, you don't know what's going to happen from here until WrestleMania 41. You just don't. So the fact that they pushed it to WrestleMania 40 is mind-blowing to me.
Well said. Well said. Conrad, your final thoughts on the idea of 39 being obvious for 40?
If you watch my review, go back, watch Night 2 WrestleMania review on the Everything Pro Wrestling channel. I was wearing a Cody shirt because I was so confident that Cody was going to win. I'm like, they can't screw this up. There's no way. And we haven't said it yet tonight, Sean. You know what that means. Yep. Get the shirt now on Sean's Threadless store.
Right there. Right there's a website right there.
I got played. So I was like, I can't believe they did it. But instantly I knew. I was like, oh, the story. Because here's the thing. Roman's beat everybody. There's no other people for him to beat that are believable to beat him. They've left it. I mean, I guess you could insert Punk now, but Cody was the guy. And Cody in losing is still believable because shenanigans. They had too many things happen. And I'm like, okay, they know what they're doing here and they're playing around with this. I don't care about these records. The records are stupid. Because you're not going to be number one. He's not going to keep the belt to beat Bruno's record. So I really don't care. So, and honestly,
don't say it too loud.
It's been impressive already. Honestly, like for someone to keep the belt that long, that's crazy in today's modern era of wrestling.
100. That's
crazy.
Still keep the interest of the people.
Go back and look at Macho Man's WCW title reigns and total them all up. You'll be surprised one day. Or look at Stone Cold's title reigns and total up the days. You'll be shocked to see how long they held those belts for. I want to say this to encapsulate all of this, though. Why can't you have your cake and eat it, too, if you're WWE? You have a bunch of stars, right? You have a bunch of matchups that people want to see. You mentioned Cody Punk. You mentioned Roman. We're talking Roman Cody. We're talking Punk Reigns eventually. Punk and Seth. Gunther and Seth. I saw in the chat some people were mentioning it. You can have all these matches happen. You don't have to rush through these. Does Rock and Roman need to be for the title? No. But you can have that match. You don't need to do two on the same night. How many eyes are you trying to draw to this? You can pick and choose when you want to do these things. And I think that's what they're going to end up doing. They're going to pick and choose what matches feel right for right now. Let's do that. And that's what they've been doing. The fans seem to be like, yeah, I'm with the long-term booking. And I think that's what they need to ride the wave of. So try to give everyone a cupcake. And if you can, give them a second cupcake and a third, whatever. You know what I mean? People are going to eat it all up and they're going to enjoy themselves and have fun with it. That's the point of what they need to try to do.
And that's what Triple H has been saying at these conferences. Like, it's about the story. It's not, these things are not going to happen like this.
Well, this is why we're all going to be tuned in on Saturday night to see what happens. The road to WrestleMania officially begins. Before we let everybody go, we want to make sure that we remind everybody that right now there is one listener or one viewer that's going to have the chance to watch the Wrestling Revolver pay-per-view for free tonight on Fight Triller TV, and we're really excited about that. So I'm about to break it down right now and announce the winner. So right now I want Renegade, big shout out to Renegade L2K. I want you to hit my Instagram DM or my Twitter DM right now so I can send you a code to watch Wrestling Revolver. It's going to be Mox versus Gringo, John Moxley being featured on that pay-per-view, and it's going to be taking place tonight right on Triller TV. So make sure you hit my direct messages either on Twitter, X, or Instagram, and I will definitely send you a code for that. And I thank everybody for tuning in. As always, I'm a little bit of a person that likes to do this because I just really like to acknowledge people. I'm going all the way top, from Ray to Gomar to Emily Fashizi, XGW, Devin Santiago. Welcome for being here for the first time. Taro, appreciate you. Oh my goodness, so thankful for the outreach. Abreu, thank you. Rob, as always. Prince, Rockstar, as always. Darker League, Eric. Guy Will Gamble, my guy. Appreciate you. Quilly, as always. We appreciate each and every one of you. And I'm going to go around the horn right now and start with ladies first. Crystal, please let everybody know where you can be reached and what you're up to and all that good stuff.
You can find me on Instagram at Day in the Life of Chris. It's right down below. And you know me, I'm working on 1,000 things. I'll tell you next time I'm on the podcast, God willing. Right now, I'm keeping it under wraps.
Philanthropist.
Yes.
Entrepreneur. All around good person. She's busy. And she's awesome. That's my buddy. Crystal, appreciate you.
Thank you.
Jess, talk to the people, man. You have so many things going on, so much great stuff going on. I was in the house for the 2K24 review. I was in the building showing support for that. Awesome job by you and James. Tell them about it.
Yeah, I mean, you can follow me everywhere at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Our quote is branding matters, so you can follow us everywhere at the Pro Wrestling Shoot. Yeah, we're just talking some 2K over on our YouTube. The YouTube is growing really well. It seems like our Twitter is growing a little bit better now too. So, yeah, just come holler at us. We're live every Tuesday at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Come check us out.
Appreciate you, man. Dude came straight home from work on the West Coast to be with us tonight. Appreciate it. I do not count it robbery, and I'm certainly thankful, my G. And of course, at the top of the screen, my brother from another mother, my tag team partner every Monday night at 6:05. But he has so much more stuff going on than just that. Conrad, talk to the people.
Yes, we do Clash of the Podcast Monday, 6:05 Eastern Standard Time. Be there, show up. We do Dynamite reviews. We try to do the pay-per-views. Pay-per-view schedule's been weird lately for us just because AEW tried to add a bunch and I'm not trying to review a bunch. So there's just a lot of stuff going on. We won't do a Rumble review, but me and Sean will catch you up on it on Monday. So you're going to want to be there and we'll talk about the fallout from the Royal Rumble and kind of the first piece to the road to WrestleMania after getting past like the first stop sign. Where are we going and what's happening? So check us out.
The bottom line is everybody on this channel is super busy, which is why I'm even more thankful that they've graced me with their presence here on Hubbard Wrestling Weekly presents Clash of the Podcast here tonight. The next time Hubbard Wrestling Weekly will be with you live, outside of my spontaneous angry rants that I might do every once in a while. But the next scheduled appearance for Hubbard Wrestling Weekly presents Clash of the Podcast will be WrestleMania week. So we're going to do Big Four. Every time there's a Big Four, Hubbard Wrestling Weekly will go live, similar to the way we went live tonight. And of course, you can find me 6:05 every Monday night on the EPW channel for Clash of the Podcast. Listen, a record number of people in the Hubbard Wrestling Weekly chat tonight. I thank each and every one of you from the bottom of my heart. Certainly thankful to Crystal, Jess, and Conrad for making it out tonight. God bless all three of you. God bless you all. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoy the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. I know I will. I will be watching. Yes, I am not boycotting the Royal Rumble the way I boycott Raw and SmackDown. I will be watching. And I know I'll admit I'll probably watch SmackDown the night before. I'll watch the go-home show of SmackDown. So I'll be a good sport in that regard. And I'll be checking out the Royal Rumble on Saturday night. And hopefully I won't want to flip over my desk and come online randomly and talk about how terrible it was that Too Cold Scorpio won the Royal Rumble. But we'll see what happens when that happens.
Let's go.
But with that being said, with that little bit of levity on the way out, I want to remind everybody that God is good. God is good all the time. Evil never prevails. For Crystal, for Jesse, for Conrad, and for myself, God bless, and we'll see you next time. Peace.